So basically, Murchison Minerals is a base metal-oriented company in Canada, focused on Saskatchewan and with a project in Quebec. The main asset of the company is the Brabant-McKenzie VMS deposit. Contains approximately 10 million tons, of which 2 million tons is about 10% zinc equivalent, another 7.6 million tons at 6.3% zinc equivalent. To put things in perspective, that's approximately the equivalent of 1 million ounces of gold grading 5 grams with valued in the marketplace at $3 an ounce. On top of the Brabant-McKenzie deposit, we have a 324 square kilometer land position with over 30 major EM and combined with high mag targets. Excellent infrastructure in Saskatchewan and a nickel, copper, cobalt project 100% owned in Quebec. So essentially the property package is 38 kilometers in linear strike length. As you can see from to the left is the major road that goes from La Ronge, Saskatchewan to all the uranium mines in the northern part of the province. We have the village of Brabant Lake, about 3 kilometers from the Brabant-McKenzie deposit, and a major power line that transects the property. So great infrastructure, great province, pro-mining environment. The Brabant-McKenzie deposit, again, is 3 kilometers from town. You can literally walk there. It extends for about 1 kilometer long on the surface and extends down dip for another 1,000 meters. Deposit remains open and basically consists of 2 zones, upper zone, lower zone, each about 6 meters thick, with approximately 30 meters of waste in between the 2 zones. So for each vertical meter that you're mining down, you're mining approximately 12 meters wide of massive sulfides. Distribution, so the ore body remains open laterally at depth and obviously on the property itself. We completed a large airborne VTEM survey in December and January of this, just a few months ago. Identified well over 30 new unknown, very strong EM and combined with mag signatures. It's a VMS camp potential. So we currently have 6 geologists in the field doing prospecting work. We are using an instrument called beep mat. As you can see from when you look at the region, it's pretty hilly, but it's all covered by 1 to 2 feet of soil, so you don't get to see the rocks. There are very few outcrops. So this beep mat is an instrument that looks like a toboggan that you drag behind yourself. It picks up anything that's magnetic or an electromagnetic conductor down to about 2 meters of depth. So as you walk along, it beeps at you if it sees anything of interest. You dig down through the soil to identify the rocks. The technology works extremely well. Unfortunately, I don't have the pictures, but I was sent pictures from the work done yesterday, and the guys identified a massive 2 meter wide or massive sulfide structure that extends some considerable distance with some traces of sphalerite and copper. So that's we need to cover the whole area over the next few months. Looking at scale, most VMS camps have a surface expression of approximately 25 kilometers in diameter. And what the land package that we have is also roughly 25 kilometers in size. So we like to think that we are on the verge of confirming that we have a major mining camp. We have, as I mentioned, we have identified over 30 targets, new targets. We started modeling them in detail in 3D. That's just a sample of the various anomalies that we have identified. We still have about 15 to study. The Brabant 7 and 8 are 2 EM conductors that are parallel to the actual deposit of Brabant-McKenzie. Very similar rocks, similar strength, and we will be doing some exploration on that. That's the 3D depiction of Brabant 7 and Anomaly and Brabant 8. The Tom 2 Anomaly is actually a drill target. It's been covered with ground geophysics. It has an extremely strong conductivity at 5,800 Siemens. It comes near surface, not quite at surface. So you're looking at a 3D depiction. The strength of the signature says it is screaming to be drilled. The main lake is another very interesting target with about 7 different conductors that will be explored in the next few days on surface. Again, it's an area that's never been covered before. McIver Channel, again, it comes out near, basically on the shore of the lake. There's some massive Gossan mineralization right on shore, never been drilled, with traces of sphalerite and chalcopyrite. Again, could spend a lot of time just describing all of these, but what we can say is that there's no shortage of great targets. So Brabant 1 is a classical example of a strong EM conductor with a combined strong magnetic signature. So there's a number of these to follow up. Also, another tool in exploration is lake sediment sampling, lake geochemistry. There are two areas that stand out from historical surveys, the northeast end of the property package and the southeast side. And the southeast gold anomaly is located about 35 kilometers away from a very similar signature that was over the CB gold mine, about 35 kilometers to the southeast. CB is doing extremely well, and grades are improving at depth. So that's Saskatchewan, 100% owned, and we have great probability of finding one or more additional deposit. The HPM project is 100% owned. We bought out our partner back in February. We now have 100%. It is a nickel copper cobalt project. It was drilled in 2008 with the best hole being 43 meters, grading 1.74% nickel, 0.9% copper, and 900 ppm cobalt. Basically, every hole had some cobalt in it. The main mineralization is located about 8 miles east of the railroad that goes to northern Quebec, the iron mines, and the highway that goes to northern Quebec as well. Again, 100% owned. So this is a 3D depiction of the mineralization that's been drilled to date, and we plan on doing more work there at the end of August and early September. Looking at valuation, so for each $1 Canadian invested in our shares in the marketplace is backed by $663 of metal in the ground Canadian. So that's a 660 to 1 leverage ratio, and that's based solely on the Brabant-McKenzie deposit. We're trading at less than a quarter of our peers, and I believe that there's a lot of upside on the stock. We are doing a small financing at the moment at 8 cents. Anybody who's interested, so give me a call. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.